goody, here it comes.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Oh my God, don't stop now!
With your hosts, Brian, John, and Elaine.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Coddington, joined by my fellow co-hosts and filmmakers, John and Lane Woolscroft.
This really isn't going to help that stereotype that we're a horror podcast, is it?
No. And you know what? That's the thing. We are a weird type of podcast because I'd say about, what would you say, about 70% of the movies we look at are horror-themed, and maybe the other 30% are other genre-based films or filmmakers.
Well, here's the tricky thing, because like when we do like a lot of holiday-themed episodes,
yeah.
And what movie genre tackles holidays more than any other genre? The fucking horror.
It's true.
Genre.
Well, you know, I'm also trying to expand my horizons because, you know, it is the year of the Rona. What else could possibly fucking scare me at this point? I had a conversation with a really good friend about this, and she was telling me about this show on, it was on AMC, but now it's on Hulu, called The Terror. And usually she doesn't like scary stuff, but she was like, what else could possibly fucking scare me? Well, apparently this show, she said she's been spacing them out because it's scary.
We're only 6 months in. Like, give it time, Lane.
I mean, we're half over. We're half over with this wretched, godforsaken turd of a year.
That's a very positive way of looking at it. I look at it as, oh God, we're only halfway through.
Listen, it's half done.
It's you're halfway through the gauntlet of torture. Well, I guess we're halfway through, but you know, what else can be worse? Well, there's the ass ramming drill that's coming in November. Have fun.
It's attached to the killer bees or whatever.
I've been enjoying
killer
the
hornets.
bingo card though, y'all.
There's a bingo card for 2020?
Hell yeah! There's
I didn't know that.
Murder hornets and aliens and strange activity under Yellowstone, though that happens pretty much every year.
Yeah, wasn't that the super volcano that they were apparently saying?
There's always like rumblings under there, though. Like, we're probably gonna die. It's fine.
That's cool. Well, speaking of horror, did I steal your transition, John?
No.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
You had the transition, I think, this time.
Oh, God.
I'm so happy for you.
I was going to say, speaking of horrors of this year, let's talk about summer horror movies, because we're on episode 185.
Yep.
Yeah.
185. Can we just pause briefly
pause.
for 185?
Oh, I got to dust off an oldie but a goodie. The Fighting 185.
My goodness.
That is an
185.
oldie but goodie.
We've been recording
I don't think I've done that since episode like 50.
We've been recording this for a long time, guys.
Remember when we thought episode 50 was long? We're like, wow, 50 episodes, that's a lot. Like,
I know.
No, just give it time.
We'll be welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, episode 1915.
I'm still having lots of fun with you both.
Yes,
I'm glad. A really good time.
You know what? I can say this. There's never been a time that I've said, yeah, we put out a bad episode, or we put out like a stale one. There's never a stale episode.
Never.
You know, and I've just said that. So now that means that this episode is going to end up being the stale one.
No way. We just won't do it.
You know, I was mentioning this before that we started recording, that for me, I've always found it difficult to find horror movies that are set specifically in the summer. And I feel
like you just didn't Google that much because
no, I did.
Out of it.
No,
Jesus Christ!
Lane, I did Google. I Googled the shit out of this thing. Yeah, but here's the thing.
You know what? I bet they were too mainstream for you, though, dude. Because I feel like you like the off the beaten track ones more.
Well, yeah. I mean, my picks. You're gonna take a look at them and be like, really? Like you picked those? But like for me, like here's the thing. Like I was gonna pick movies like, you know, the Cabin in the Wood type movies like Evil Dead, you know, because those are kind of like vacation ones, and you obviously most people go on summer vacation. But the problem is this: that's not set in the summer. That's set in the fall, and that's
fuck you. You're gonna enjoy my list then, butt ass.
Okay.
Butt ass.
Okay, but my point is just that it seems to me like most horror movies, if they're going to be set in the summer, they're either going to be camp-based, cabin-based, vacation-based, and that's generally about it. Am I right?
Sure, Lane. Yeah, because Lane, this is your fault. You were like,
This is your fault.
It was like, how unique is the idea of horror movies in the summer, because you don't normally get that. Most of them take place in the fall or like the dead of winter. You know? So you made us do a lot of research. Damn.
No,
Whatever. I thought this episode was going to be awesome. So eat mine.
No, this is going to be an awesome. I'm glad Lane picked this because it is.
Damn right.
It's a. I would say that this is one of the deficit parts of the genre, that there aren't quite as many, at least not to the extent of like how many Halloween horror films are out there?
So many.
Many.
Movies that take place between like early September and mid-November.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Well, there's a bunch. I mean, we can talk about a couple ones that were on my radar that I didn't choose.
Okay.
But I want to hear you guys' list first, of course, because I don't want to like spoil anything.
Well, before we go to the list, let's talk about like why some of these movies would take place at summer. I think that in the summertime, you see like a lot of these type of movies that are based here, like a lot of people's guards are down.
Yes.
Begin with. So let's go skinny dipping at midnight.
Sure. Oh yeah, of course.
Is that your arm?
Well, I mean, and it's funny because John and I were talking about this actually earlier today, how, with coronavirus especially, and I think too, just like with being adults, it doesn't really feel like summer necessarily, because you don't get summers off from being alive or being an adult anymore. You don't have that summer break like you do as a kid, but there's something appealing about being a teenager and having the summers off, because you're at that point where you're not a child anymore, but at the same time, you don't have the responsibility of school or adult life in the summertime. So like John said, you let your guard down, and there is a freedom there where there's all these possibilities open to you in the summertime. And there's something very beautiful about that. There's something very freeing about that. And in such freedom lies a really inherent vulnerability, I think.
Yeah. I think also it's one of those things where I've always said that the best horror comes from corruption of pure and innocent things. Like anytime I've seen a horror movie that's really like struck me, it's always been when there's some kind of innocence that is corrupted. And I think summertime is one of those times when, as you said, your guard's down, you're out having fun, you're doing barbecues, you're doing vacations, you don't have the constant drag. And we bring up, teens, because honestly, a lot of these summer horror films involve teens. There's not really involving grown adults for the most part. But they're not under the chains of going to school or even college or anything like that.
That would be amazing, though, if there was like 48-year-olds. Oh, jeez, you hear that noise? Oh, I'm gonna go check it out before the Gophers come on.
Are they also Canadian?
They're all Canadian.
Oh no, I'm from Minnesota, don't you know? Go Packers.
Go
Well,
Packers.
it's funny too that you bring this up, Brian, because there is like the trope of having say a cabin in the woods.
Yeah.
As someone who owns a cabin in the woods, I have to tell you that even though it's wonderful having a summer/vacation property, it has taken many years and the right mix of medications to not be creeped the fuck out by having someplace in the middle of the goddamn woods, because it can be scary.
So you actually own your cabin?
Yeah, it's my family's, but my mom signed it over to me recently. And
Whoa! Party at Lane's cabin.
I mean, which is awesome, but it also means I have to clean the goddamn gutters and power wash it myself, and pay the bills.
Thankfully, the grass is mostly moss at this point.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I gotta ask: does your cabin literally fit the bill of the Evil Dead cabin?
No, it's way nicer.
Okay.
I mean, it's not to say that it's like to beat the band like
kind of reminds me of the
beautiful.
Evil Dead cabin. There was nothing wrong with that cabin, except for what was in the fruit cellar.
Well, I mean, there was. I would say it's nicer in the sense that there's like full working plumbing.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's full plumbing.
Well,
like there's a shower.
Aren't we fancy with
we
our
are
full
fancy,
working
God
plumbing?
damn it! But I don't mean to say that it's like super nice or anything. I mean, there's no cable, there's no internet. Like my phone barely works out there.
So it is the Evil Dead cabin.
There is an outhouse, and I put a flashlight down in the toilet, and I just saw a bunch of copies of Geely. Like, like, oh, somebody didn't flush.
You know, that family of raccoons needed to nest into something.
They
John.
did. They did.
But like I said, I mean, there's something, even though it's been in my family for years, it's a part of my childhood,
Right.
and it's something I'm very familiar with. Like, when it's night out, it's fucking dark out there, y'all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I think
scary.
that's
It's
I think that's
creepy.
why a lot of these summer horror films are kind of based in the woods for the most part. I mean, you've got movies like Jaws, obviously, that are based at the beach, but the vast majority of them are based kind of out in the woods. You know,
It's
either
because the woods are dark and
the
scary.
woods are dark and scary. There's no light out there. You're in the wilderness, and anything can happen, including, you know, some crazed man in a hockey mask getting you.
Exactly.
Who's really just the mother of the crazed man in the hockey mask.
Oh my God! Spoiler alert!
In one of the 11
And one of the
variations.
11 films.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
12
think
if you
they're.
count Freddy vs. Jason.
Why do you bring that up? But I do think that there is something innately fearful about, you know, being isolated out in the wilderness where you don't have any connection, and that's why I think any of these good summer horror films tend to take place there.
Right, and I feel like, I'm sorry, but John, I feel like you built like the train tracks, and Brian and I jumped on them and just
I'm
took
sorry.
off. I feel like you started us. If you had more to say, I
The
apologize.
pedagogy just flowed.
You can continue.
Let me engineer this chew.
Okay.
Kajou.
I apologize if you had more to glean
Yes.
from such things.
Well, it's also, you know, a lot of people stay up later. You know, it's a lot of night time. You know, it's like where,
true.
like in the dead of winter, you'd be like, "Oh, it's 10 o'clock. I can't believe I'm in bed yet."
Dude,
Sometimes
in
in like
winter time at 4 o'clock, I'm like, it's time for bed.
yeah, in like July, you might be like, "Oh man, how is it midnight already? I got to work tomorrow." You know, so
Yeah.
But also from a filmmaking perspective, because like a lot of these movies, if they take place in summer, they usually shoot the year before in the summertime. Like, it's cheaper to shoot a movie when it's nice outside.
Yes. Absolutely.
You got
It's
a lot more
uncomfortable,
sunlight,
though, I would
Yeah.
say.
And I think a lot of, you know, if the movies that take place in summertime, I'm surprised more don't, because honestly, a lot of serial killers work in the summertime. That's their season to it. Summer of Sam, you know, the Manson murders, like, you know, most serial killers kill in the summer. You know, then when it gets cold out, they're like, fuck that. I'm not going to go find a hooker, you know, the murder.
It's always a hooker, John. Why are you saying that?
So, you know, what's unique about these films is there's a lot more day scenes. The heat itself is almost a character. Yeah, there's a lot of camp. And I don't mean like camp in terms of silliness, although there could be that too. I mean, literally, people go to camp.
Yeah.
I went to camp. Did you guys go to camp?
No.
never.
I did a
Well, I know
day.
John didn't.
I did a day camp.
Ooh, I went
Yeah.
to camp Singing Hills because I was a Girl Scout for a while.
Was there an axe murderer there that you guys?
No,
noticed
but
about?
oh man, we were in like those tents that were like the wooden floor with like the tarp tops, and we were in cots. Like, they were huge. There was room for like 4 cots inside, so like there was a bunch of us girls in there. Oh man, you want to talk about fucking dark?
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, I went to a
Scary.
day camp that was run by the community. Okay, so my parents got divorced. My mom had to get a job, and she got a job as a real estate agent. And during that time, my brother and I had to do something during the summertime. So Cranberry Township had this thing called Camp Cranberry. I don't think they have it anymore. And it was it was the most ridiculous thing because they only had 2 weeks of programming.
Oh wow.
So after 2 weeks, if you were someone like myself and my brother, where we're there the whole summer because we don't got anywhere else to go to, you're doing the same thing every 2 weeks.
Oh no.
It was the same programming in the
How many
counters.
candles did you make?
Oh man, I made so many candles.
Shit.
Went to Moraine State Park maybe 5 times.
Oh shit. I haven't been there yet this year. I want to go.
I don't know if you want to go in the middle of a pandemic, but okay.
I'll wear a mask.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you wear a mask. But yeah, it was really bad. I mean, it was
funny.
fun for the time. 11-year-old Brian doesn't know the difference.
Right.
It's just like, well, I guess we're doing something. But it was just, when you're an adult, you're like, oh man, that was only 2 weeks of programming, and then they just
Sleepaway
restarted it
camp,
over
man.
again.
Sleepaway camp's like a totally different bird, though, because you're
Yeah.
away from your family. Especially, I'm an only child, so like that was a long time to be away from my parents, especially the first time I did it. You know.
Did anyone
Yeah.
like freak out at the sleepaway camp? Like just get super
There's
scared?
always one kid.
There's always
I
one
was
kid who freaks
not
out.
scared.
It's like
but,
Shawshank Redemption. Like which person's gonna crack night one?
Listen, okay,
It's
I wasn't
Jimmy.
super,
It's
I
Jimmy's
wasn't
gonna
super
crack.
scared, but y'all can fuck off because I was kind of homesick. Okay, you guys can bite my ass.
I thought Lane was gonna.
I'll tell you what, though, there's nothing like a bunch of chicks trying to scare each other in the bathroom mirrors playing Bloody fucking Mary.
You should have said Candyman.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna say you
know,
should have
right?
said Candyman.
I was just gonna make that joke. Anyway,
But yeah, I don't find these movies as scary because I just find some are kind of innocent by nature. But I think I did find some that would work. I would say like the best of the rest. So these are not on my list. Are I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yeah.
Friday the 13th series. Speaking of that, the one movie where they actually had campers in there, I was really mad that Jason didn't butcher some kids. But
that's because you're a dark, dark human being.
I just wish
sir.
the counselors came in and it's just like fucking kid guts everywhere.
Sweetheart, I love
Jason's
you,
just
but there's something wrong with you.
I'm so full.
My goodness.
He didn't eat them. But Jeepers Creepers, The Burning, Madman, Midsummer.
Midsummer was on every single list that I saw. Can someone please fucking explain that movie to me? Because I didn't think it was scary and I didn't think it was
Lane,
good.
he's so deep.
As I said, I haven't seen it.
Oh my god!
Isn't it? Can you kind of? Here's the thing. I have no intention of really seeing it.
Yeah,
so if you guys
okay.
want to spoil the shit out for me, you can.
Okay, so this girl has genuine trauma in her life. Her
Okay.
boyfriend's a fucking douchebag.
They're all
She-
grad students. Like they're working on their like. Well, are they doctorate or grad student? They're working on a thesis.
It doesn't even really matter. They're pursuing higher education.
Okay.
Again, her boyfriend's an asshole. He is emotionally unavailable and a total chode to her.
Chode?
chode.
Chode. Deal with it.
Raise the roof. That's fat.
How about you go fuck
Surge.
yourself? How about you go perform sex upon your own person? That
sounds pretty good.
She already, the main character already has some anxiety and mental issues, but then her sister kills herself. Okay.
Oh.
And it's very fraught. There's a whole issue with it. And then her boyfriend is still an asshole and decides to take her on this trip with him to Sweden. They're in Sweden. They trip balls on drugs. A bunch of people in this weird cult that they're visiting kill themselves. His guy friends and him all are studying these people. She wins a flower crown. He has sex with one of the girls in their
He plants his seed.
tribe. He plants his seed, and then they try to escape. The end. I don't fucking know. The movie, Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow.
genius. Hereditary. Hereditary was so good.
Okay, so this is the same guy who did Hereditary.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't.
I see. I saw this movie, and then like a week later, I saw The Lighthouse, and I was like, "There's a real filmmaker."
I was gonna say I love The Lighthouse. I saw that a couple months ago, and as soon as the pandemic started, I was insomnia kind of took over as it has for a lot of people, and saw Lighthouse and loved it.
Yeah, and I mean, I will be the first to go back on myself if someone explains this to me and tells me why this movie's worthwhile, but it's kind of ruined flower crowns for me forever, so I fucking hate you.
As I said, all I've really seen from it is just the crying face and flower crown shit that I see.
And
everywhere.
Florence Pugh, I fucking love her. She's amazing.
Yeah.
She's such a good actress. She's fantastic in this.
Yeah.
Absolutely mesmerizing. I cannot stop watching her in this, but this movie blows.
Carol
Yeah.
Baskin ruined flower crowns for me.
Careful,
Yeah,
she
you got
she owns all the tigers now. She's gonna
I know,
feed
right?
you to
Yeah.
them.
Hell, you cats and
But
kittens.
and Us obviously is a more recent one.
Yes.
The Fog,
I
which
saw that one, too.
we just recently talked about.
That one's a summer one, is it?
Which one? Which one? Did you say?
Yeah. The
Oh,
Fog.
okay.
The what?
The Fog.
The fog.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's one too.
Lane, huh? What?
Der fog.
Listen, these headphones are noise canceling, and you're in the same room as me. I can hear Brian, but not you.
And The Purge.
Yeah, the Purge is it.
Yeah.
I saw that on the list too. I haven't seen those.
Yeah.
I
Well,
feel like with as shitty as our country is right
here's-
now, I'm kind of afraid to see it.
Here's the thing with The Purge. I heard that the first one blows chunks, but they apparently actually, unlike any other horror franchise, they get better over time.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I didn't mind
But they take
the
place
first
around
one.
the 4th, right? The 4th of July. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
I didn't.
right.
I didn't mind the first Purge. It was all right. I was like, okay, well, whatever.
Well, I heard early on in quarantine.
That's a
somebody
great- that's a
played the
great
sirens.
That's how I felt. I'm like, whatever.
So, okay, are we going to talk about our favorites, or what are we doing? Let's
do it.
What's happening?
Yeah. If you want, okay, who wants to go first? Because I picked 5, right? And
I picked 5 too.
So these are top 5
And
picks.
I think you assholes named all of them. So,
I didn't. So, okay. Lane, do you want to go first since this is
why not?
your
You guys-
episode?
you guys
and we
have
might have
already-
ruined them all.
you guys have already named all of
Laney,
mine.
Go.
All right, so I'm going to get into my list. It's very exciting. I'm going to see which order I should do here.
Okay.
Let's take a look. All right, so one thing I would like to say in my readings, so a few that I haven't seen that I'm sad I haven't seen yet. Definitely want to check out Us. I haven't seen it yet. I loved
Sure.
and I think that it would count. Get Out would count. Get Out seems like it's summertime.
I think maybe like leaves falling.
Is it
I think
fall?
it's fall.
Is it fall?
I think it's
Yeah,
fall.
I think it's fall.
like
Okay.
early fall.
Anyway,
It's
I do
like
want to check out
October.
Us. I definitely
Us
feel
isn't
ready
that
to check
bad.
out Us.
Us isn't
wanna-
that bad. It's pretty good.
I know John wasn't a big fan.
Well,
But-
it was. I mean, I think partly it's just such a letdown after Get Out was like
Yes.
nearly
Right,
perfect.
right.
Yes,
I hear ya.
That's the point.
But I do want to see that. I saw that in my readings and my research. I do want to check out The Purge. I just don't think I'm ready
The
because
Purges.
I feel like our nation could go in that direction, and I'm scared.
It kind of already is.
Maybe. And I always joke with my friends because I've worked in customer support for a really long time, and I think that the purge should actually happen. But instead of killing each other, we should just be allowed to tell our customers what we actually think and have no
Oh
consequences.
man.
I think that would be lovely.
Oh my god.
I
Like
think that'd be
a service purge.
Yeah, where just for
it's a
one
server.
day we could just like be real with people. I think
So
that'd be
one day I can just
fantastic.
tell people like, you know what? Fuck you, and fuck you.
Well,
Yep.
you know,
See you tomorrow,
Christmas-
Bill.
Yep.
A few hundred years ago, Christmas was like the poorest people like would knock on the rich people's door, and they had to like let
Oh,
them in,
yeah.
like,
Dude, and
serve,
let
like
them
to eat their
drink your
finest
booze and
food.
shit?
Yeah,
Oh.
it was eat
The
some soup,
wassailing.
take a dumpski. You
Yeah,
know?
it was the
Yeah,
wassailing.
the wassailing. So like we would just all go to like
Now, but
Quickie and
what if we just killed the rich and like it was okay if you make under $100,000 a year, you're allowed to kill a rich person.
Well-
Bro Joe, my entire motto for 2020 has been eat the rich.
Yeah. I agree with that too. But
That's
but
been
you know
my only mantra.
you know technically that's why Santa Claus exists, right? Because
Sinterklaas.
Santa Claus was invented for commercial reasons because of the fact that Christmas was entirely occupied by drunks and
was it to make it more
pagans,
family
yes,
friendly?
pagans and drunks,
yes, that's exactly what it was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, well anyway, this is
Anyway,
this
this isn't Christmas, but
but I would want to check that out. And then I also saw a movie from 2015 called The Final Girls. Did you guys see that at all?
I've heard of it. I've not seen
I
it.
haven't
It's from
seen it.
2015. It has pretty good rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Not that that's the be all end all for me, but I saw that it had pretty good reviews. It seemed kind of interesting. I thought that was cool. The premise is one of the girls in like a group of friends, her mom was in like a B horror movie or something, and they go to watch it, this group of friends, and they get like sucked into the world of the movie.
That's pretty cool.
I thought that was kind of neat. I don't
Like,
know.
stay tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Brian's like here for it.
Fucking stay tuned. Oh my god, I love that movie.
So those were my honorable mentions.
All right.
So we'll start with the list.
Quick cock teasing us
So,
to get to the list.
so goddamn it, Brian. On my list is Evil Dead. I thought it was a summer one.
I know. I'm sorry.
Motherfucker. Well, because it's a classic.
It is.
Bruce Campbell's like very iconic. It's a very iconic character. Now the second one is lauded as being much better than the first.
It's a soft reboot.
It is.
It's
Right.
a soft
So,
reboot.
but I don't know. There's just something so respectable about the first one. Like as an independent filmmaker, I think, like having no money and just really trying to make it work is so cool. So my respect goes to the first one.
Lane, have you ever watched the behind the scenes stuff of how they made Evil Dead? Because I have the necronomicon version of it.
Oh, really?
Which
That's
is
fascinating.
Which is the back in the day, and when I mean back in the day, I mean like 10, 15 years ago. They sold this version of Evil Dead that had this like necronomicon book of the dead, like
Right.
weird rubber skin stuff all over the cover of it.
Yeah.
And what was
in.
cool about it was that it had a lot of behind the scenes, like extra deleted scenes and takes. So like you actually
wow.
saw how Raimi's directing a lot of the effects, and a lot of it is quite
That's
literally
cool.
like it's almost a master class in filmmaking for a horror film, because he's literally like got one scene where there's a rubber hand and he's wiggling it as Bruce Campbell's trying to hit it. So like that sort of stuff is in this.
Cool. See,
and
that's what I like.
it's really interesting to watch.
I think that's really fascinating. I love that.
I love that this guy made a short and then made a feature out of it and then remade that feature. What is this guy, George Lucas?
Wow, you are so cynical and hateful. It must really.
Have you ever
hurt to
seen
be
the
you.
short?
No.
Oh man,
I
Don't
bet it's
watch
worth it. I bet it's
Is
worth
it,
it.
is, it, is it bad?
I think it'd be amazing.
Well,
They got
here's
him
the
financing.
thing. Here's the thing. The short is on YouTube. It's called Within the Woods, and it changes a couple things around. For one, it's mostly the same sort of plot. A bunch of friends go to a cabin, but this time around, Bruce Campbell is the one who gets infected and turns into kind of the
that's
evil
cool.
Ash at the beginning. And he had to wear prosthetics and everything. And he even said, I believe, when they made Evil Dead, I'm not doing that again. He's like, I'm not putting prosthetics on his face
Wow,
again.
good for him.
Because
He
it
put
was
his
a
foot
nightmare
down.
for him. They also had some things in there like they said the spirits were like Native American evil spirits, so they changed it around a little bit for the mainstream version because it doesn't sound too good. But
Fear engine.
yeah.
Well, good. I'm
it's,
glad they changed it because
they did change it. But I mean, it's interesting to watch because you can kind of see the progression from that little short film to getting enough financing to create, the feature, and then the feature basically taking off from there.
That's cool. That's cool.
All right, Lane, what do you got for
Well,
4?
keeping this cabin and camp situation.
We'll give you an asterisk on that one.
Okay, well, keeping this camp and this is definitely summer thing going. I got Sleepaway Camp for you guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, this might be my favorite bad movie. It's funny.
That's one of my wife's favorite films.
I
Sleepaway
was
Camp.
video chatting with my mom last night, and the more I thought about it, the more I think she might love it because it's so ridiculous and just so hilarious. Because she was like asking me about it, and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "She's like, so it's bad," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "But there's so much joy." She's like, "Well, is there joy in the beginning or joy in the end?" She's
whole
like, "There's
movie.
murder, right?"
No, that won't do it all.
And I was like, "There's joy during the murder," and I'm thinking specifically of a very specific. I'm thinking of a very specific curling iron, and I just think there's a
Yeah.
lot of joy in that scene. And the more I thought about it, I was like, "Mom," I was like, "I think we have to watch this together because
guys.
it's so hilarious."
In the times of COVID, you need to disinfect, and I mean, what better way to disinfect down there than a hot curling iron?
God damn it, John.
We did an episode on Sleepaway Camp.
We sure
way
did.
back.
We
Way
sure
back.
did, and
Way
I
back.
have zero regrets. But yeah,
About 15 years ago, I think we did that.
So yeah, but I was talking to her about it, and I was like, this might be my favorite bad movie actually, because like I don't love all bad movies equally, but I think
No.
this one might be my favorite. So this is definitely high on my list.
Lane, can I
So much joy.
can I let the cat out of the bag here for something for my YouTube channel?
Of course,
Oh,
I was
absolutely.
hoping you would.
Do you got a plug?
Well, yeah, for shameless self plug here. For September, I am looking to, and I'm in the process right now of getting a Sleepaway Camp reunion interview together.
Whoa! Like,
Wouldn't that
like
be fantastic?
Felissa Rose and all them?
Yep, and including
Damn.
the
So
ant.
exciting.
Yeah,
Oh, the ant.
yeah. So yeah, and oh god, now I'm drawing a blank now. What is the name of the bitchy character?
Oh, I don't.
oh,
The one who gets
No.
the curling iron in the vagina.
yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but her as well. So yeah,
Julie. No, that's not right.
look it up, Led.
Damn it.
No, sorry.
Oh.
Actually, Lane, what's your? But so yeah, I'm looking to get that
That's
in
awesome.
place here. So it's a work in progress. So.
Oh my god, it's gonna bother me. Shoot. Oh, I'm so mad now.
All right. Well, what's your number 3 while you're looking that up?
And so then for my next pick to go in the complete opposite direction, Cabin in the Woods.
Yep.
So you want a little satire, huh?
Yeah, I mean, full disclosure, the first time I saw this movie, I didn't fucking get it. I was like, what is going on? Because it's very much higher concept. And I didn't quite understand what was happening with the greater picture of everything. But actually have seen it quite a few times since then. I own it now, and I do really love the dialogue. I think the cast is really good in this. It's one of the few things I've seen Jesse Williams in that's not Grey's Anatomy. I think Richard Jenkins is fantastic in this.
He's fantastic in anything.
Yeah, he really is. And then Bradley Whitford.
Yes.
And he's great in this too. And I think it's funny to see him in this and then to see him in Us. It's like he's aged 20 years.
He really has. He really
it's
has.
weird. Like, I guess just like gray really makes a difference. I don't know, but
a beard can age you too. He's got like that big bushy beard.
He does. But this is I think this is the only motion picture I've seen Amy Acker in, but I'm really familiar with
Thor's
her
in it too.
Oh yeah, Thor's in it. Yeah,
in his abs.
That was weird. I liked it. But just being familiar with other Joss Whedon stuff, I'm a big Buffy fan, and even though as a human being I find Joss Whedon to be pretty gross because he's a cheat.
Hi, I'm Joss Whedon. Here's the smell of my farts. Enjoy.
He really is like. I used to find him charming. Like I used to find him like humble and like cool. And man.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
I was going to say,
I'm
I'm pretty sure that in our back catalog, there are a couple episodes early on where you're like, I love Joss Whedon. He's amazing. And now it's like, no,
well, we
not
find
so
out
much.
that he's a cheat. Like,
not so
during
much.
the course of things, like, we find out he's a garbage human.
Yeah.
Don't ever find out things about your heroes,
I
kids.
know,
It
I know.
sucks. But anyway,
Dollhouse, you're just not smart enough for it. It's like
listen,
a
nobody's
cable.
smart enough for Dollhouse. It's really also my concept. You have to watch it like twice to fucking understand it. But anyway, but yeah, no, I like the way that this all comes to fruition and like the understanding of it. I think it's really interesting. And John, you had read something that he said about it that was gross, though, right?
Oh yeah. So yeah, he said that like they're now have deconstructed all of the cliches in horror movies, and now they're over. It's time to move on, make something new. I put it
I
to
super
bed.
hate that.
And what a
Right?
what a
Oh,
sanctimonious
my
little
God.
prick he is.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
super hate that.
first of all, buddy,
Bridge
you're
troll.
not. First of all, buddy, you're not Wes Craven. Don't even try that. Okay.
Ew.
If anyone can deconstruct anything, it's Wes Craven. The man did that with every one of his films. So fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the only things that I really attach to with that film is the deconstruction, and he has to ruin it.
I know. It's so gross, isn't it?
I'm Joss Whedon. I made a show about a valley girl who fights vampires in a space western. I'm Joss Whedon. Smell my ass.
I mean, like I said, don't ever confront your heroes.
Look
but
how
whatever.
clever my dialogue is.
Even though that's not how people actually talk.
That's not how humans talk.
It's not. So
That's
anyway,
how memes talk.
Yeah.
anyway,
All right,
but as we shit all over this,
What's your trace?
but so no, you mean my Quattro? That was my trace.
And Cinco.
My
Seis.
Quattro is
What?
Jaws.
Wait, this would be your number 3, wouldn't it? You've done 5 and 4.
No, wait.
Sleepaway
Oh,
Camp.
you're counting down. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm going the other way.
I see.
Yeah.
My Jaws is my next one.
Yeah.
Classic summer movie.
Very
No,
good.
no questioning whether this one takes place in summertime.
Yeah,
How
one of
many
my-
times would they say the 4th of fucking July?
Though I have to say, the memes and the parallels to COVID are starting to freak me out.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Because the mayor in Jaws is pretty much like the mayor of Florida.
Or the
I'm sorry, the governor of Florida.
or just
it's
the
freaking.
the president.
It's freaking.
Well, no,
me
see,
out.
I would disagree with that because there's a point where the mayor in Jaws shows empathy and Donald
Well-
Trump's incapable.
Well, then
of
he
it.
shows reason.
Yeah.
I'm also quite fond of Jaws because I really enjoyed the novel. I read the novel a couple summers ago, and I really liked that as well. So I like anything that I can connect to on a couple of levels, and this is definitely that. And I don't know, it's a classic. It's Spielberg at his early days, and it's a great filmmaking story as well as a good story in itself. So I think that the two together really make a difference, and I do enjoy that. So
That's
it's
a good
also
one. Yeah.
well acted, and who doesn't love Bruce the shark?
Bruce the shark.
I'll tell you, everybody
shark.
that worked on that movie.
Yeah, everyone else hates
Yeah,
Bruce.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, fuck you,
Yeah.
Bruce.
So wait, no, John, for God's sake, that was my dose because I did Evil Dead, Cabin in the Woods, and Sleepaway
Yeah.
Camp, and then Jaws.
Yeah,
and my
you're right.
number one,
Yeah.
my uno, is I Know What You Did Last Summer. Is anyone surprised? I love this goddamn movie. I love love it.
I will say this about that movie. Ryan Phillippe's piss poor acting makes it all worth it because it's so hysterically funny. He comes in every scene at an 11. Like, he walks into a room, God damn it!
No, watching this movie, I'll tell you what, Brian, you have to watch this movie with John because Ryan Phillippe's performance in this makes John so happy. It's like infectious. You cannot be mad watching this movie.
He's roid rage in every single scene.
He's so angry. It's so amazing.
He really
Freddie Prinze Jr. Freddie Prinze Jr. doesn't know where he is.
Freddie Prinze Jr.
The sexy chipmunk with tits is the chipmunk with tits.
No, I fucking love Freddie in this because he
Isn't that
seems
Sarah Michelle Gellar?
genuinely...
No, Jennifer Love Hewitt, the chipmunk with tits.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Guys, it's my movie. Let me talk.
All right. Sorry.
So I love Freddie Prinze Jr. If we ever have a Steel City Con in this city again, he's coming, and I can't decide if I want him to sign something from this or if I want him to sign something from Rebels.
Oh yeah, Rebels.
But I don't want to shit on him too much because he was young. I mean, he was like 19 when he made this movie.
Is that an excuse?
Shut up. He seems very confused about where he is. Like genuinely confused about what's going on. I feel really bad saying that. I mean, I love him so much.
I just want to be like, tell me about Wing Commander.
He really. Oh, shut up! I watched that movie on mute when I was a kid. I literally turned this movie on mute because I thought he was so pretty back in the day. I was like, "You can't talk, but this is so fun to watch because you're so cute."
Are you a pilgrim, Freddie? Are you a pilgrim?
Oh my god! But anyway, but yeah, no. He seems genuinely to not know what's going on.
Yeah,
I think him and Sarah Michelle Gellar together are so cute. And they're really married in real life, and they still are married, and they are a joy.
Don't forget Veronica Vaughn.
But what I also love is, but this is based on a Lois Duncan book, and I am obsessed with Lois Duncan. Her books are amazing. But what's funny is that this movie is absolutely nothing like the book. The book was written in the 70s. It's very old-fashioned. The idea that, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character wore pantsuits. The fact that that Helen worked outside the home was a really big deal. And I can't remember the actress's name, but the sister, Helen's sister,
Veronica Vaughn.
Yeah, Veronica Vaughn. Her character in the books was really ugly, which obviously she's not. So there's a lot of differences, and actually,
the producers weren't going to allow that.
Lois Duncan was really upset when she saw the movie because she was like, the only thing that's the same is the title.
I was gonna say, didn't they just give her glasses and say, oh well, look, she's got the glasses that makes her
the Laney Boggs approach to hideousness. Yes. But yeah, no, this is my top. I can't help it. The 90s nostalgia just gets me every time, and like I said, just it has the trifecta of things that I love. I love Jennifer Love Hewitt. I can't help it. I love Sarah Michelle Gellar. I just love this movie.
I mean,
it's not a good movie, but I love it.
Here's the thing. I will say that this movie is absolutely a time capsule.
Right.
If you wanted to take a time machine back to, when did this come out? 97?
96.
98? Guys, oh wow, we all went a different
route. Damn it, we're all
right.
No,
you guys keep talking. I'm looking.
Okay,
the book came out in 73. I can
right.
tell you that.
I think this was 97 because I think the sequel came out in either 99 or 98.
I still know what you did last summer.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you know what, Brian? The sequel did come out in 98. I'm pretty sure because it's on Hulu and I keep seeing it flash across. Okay,
1997, guys.
97.
I got it. But my point is, if you wanted to get a look at what life was like in 97. That's pretty much it. That pretty much the style and just the type of people. Yeah, it's accurate.
Yeah. I'm angry because my wife's going to win an Academy Award before me. Dopey Mr. Son of a Star, Bucky, Sexy Bucky Beaver, and
Sexy
Buffy.
Buffy. Yeah.
Why are you so rude?
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's Ryan Phillippe. God damn it!
So rude, this man.
Yeah. No, here's the thing. I get it, and I understand. And honestly, I could have put that on my list. I didn't because I don't like it. But I understand why you like it. I understand why you like it. We're friends. It's okay. It's okay.
I hope John's excited to have, and I know what you did last summer, poster in the house with Freddie Prinze Jr.'s signature on it.
What?
Because, like, here's the thing. So here's
I
what
was going to say, are you going to put it on the ceiling in your bedroom or something like that?
I mean, don't tempt me. But what I could do is I could have him sign the poster, and then I could have, like, the professional photo op. And I was thinking I could bring lightsabers, and we could both have them. And it would be, like, amazing because we could pose with them.
And then you would just be like, John, you need to leave the bedroom for about a good hour.
Maybe.
Time to go, John.
Oh, I don't need an
And I would just come over to your house and see John outside the bedroom just sulking and be like, what's going on? Oh, well, you know, Lane's in there with Freddie.
Yeah,
Lane
I'm
needs her
Googling
special
Jennifer
time.
Hewitt photos.
I need my special Jedi sheets.
That's good. Good picks, though, Lane. Honestly, like if you wanted to pick some good summer movies, those are some good picks. Good
Thank
job.
you. They all mean something special to me.
John, do you want to go next?
Sure.
Okay.
All
what
right.
you got?
I want to give this as an honorable mention because I'd say it's more of a comedy, but I had to bring it up, and that's The Burbs. The Burbs.
You
is
son
awesome.
of a bitch.
That's on my to watch
That's on
list
my
because-
list, you
yep,
asshole.
It's on my to
Oh
watch.
shit! Oh man, I'm sorry.
It's on my to watch list.
I mean, it's totally viable. Absolutely, 100%.
No, go ahead.
All right. Number 5, Tremors.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
Tremors. There. If nobody who's seen Tremors doesn't love Tremors, there's a
I
reason
love
there's like
Tremors.
8 of them.
I love
It's
Tremors.
like- yeah.
The first one's great. Second one's okay. I like Aftershocks. It's not too terrible.
Yeah.
but
For a sequel to a movie like Tremors, it's not bad.
it's not that bad. I mean, you got Burt Ward in there, and the normal everyone except for Kevin Bacon. That's pretty much it.
Which Kevin Bacon I thought was pretty established by this point. I'm surprised he did this kind of like niche, like funny
I needed money.
B movie, horror movie, but hey, to each their own. Kev, I love
Yeah.
you. Number 4 here, I have Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I wondered if you
God
picked that
damn
one. That was one of the ones that I was gonna say.
Suck my battleship, John.
There's a lot of barriers to summer movies. Shooting in the summertime, and one of the barriers is that it's so hot. And I know that this film shoot was classically very, very hot and very
poor Gunnar
miserable.
Hansen. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Just like having to suffer with that mask on and run around
Yeah.
like full.
Texas, right, John?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
and
shot
just, like,
in
They shot
deep
on
Texas.
location. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's like,
miserable
Texas,
heat.
it was supposed to be Texas, so we shot in Vancouver. And the thing is, in this movie, the heat really is a character. Like, everything is awful when
You
it's
can
hot and
feel
sticky
it.
out, and like,
Oh, yeah.
when you're in that house, it is the most vilely disgusting thing you've ever seen in your life, and you know that it's like 100 degrees inside. Because I don't think that family had central air. I'm not gonna lie.
No. I mean, they were aging things in the living room, so I mean, you need the heat for that.
And what's so interesting about this movie is so much of it takes place during the daytime, which is so unsettling because, obviously most things horrific take place at night. Because,
It really
like,
goes against expectations and stereotypes.
I never forget when the guy walks in the door and he goes up to the the door at the end of the hall, and fucking Leatherface just comes out, bashes him with a mallet, drags him in, and shuts the door to hell. Like, it's
What you know what I love about this movie?
Yikes.
There's not a drop of blood in it.
right, but people think
Huh.
it's the goriest thing
But
they've ever seen.
that's the
How
truth.
funny.
Everybody thinks that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the goriest films out there. There is not real. I mean, aside from what's his face who like cuts his hand or cuts his face, like there is not a drop of gore in this movie. Like there really isn't. It's
How
all
funny.
implied. It's all camera trickery and cutting. It's not like everyone points to the scene where the girl gets put on the meat hook, and they're like, "Oh my god, you can see everything." It's like, no, you actually don't. You see Leatherface grab her. You see a shot of the meat hook, like you see like a close up of the meat hook. Then you get another close up of her, and then you see him just literally just grab her and put her on something.
Is it all sound effects?
It's all sound effects.
theater of the mind.
It's absolutely 100% theater of the mind. And it's brilliant.
Wow.
It's brilliant because literally people will come out of that movie going, "Oh my God, it's so gross. It's so gory." And it's like, tell me a scene that you saw that. Tell me a scene where you actually saw it.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that is something that has been lacking in every single sequel to Texas Chainsaw, including the remakes and the reboots and everything else like that. They're all like, well, we got to show everything. It's like, No, you don't.
They kind of missed what made the first one good.
I despise every sequel to this movie. We should do the McConaughey one as a pantheon of others.
I mean, that one is the only one I actually do enjoy. Just because it's the McConaughey with a mechanical leg. He's got a bunch of universal remotes.
Get her leather.
But yeah, this is the first movie that legitimately actually scared me.
I was gonna say that I didn't want to out you, John, in case you weren't comfortable sharing, but I was gonna say that.
I was like, holy shit!
I'm never going to Texas ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
so number 3 here, The Hills Have Eyes.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one too.
Yeah.
I feel like I could do your list, John. When I was doing my research, I feel like I know your list.
Yeah,
this is Wes Craven in his peak, and honestly, I'm gonna throw it out there. I didn't mind the remake.
Neither did I. I really didn't either. I thought it added enough to differentiate itself from the original. I really did.
Yeah, I draw the line at inbred kidnappers. Like, I can't watch that shit. It would ruin me for life. Can't watch shit like that.
So you didn't like it when the inbred guy started drinking the milk from the titty?
Guys, I can't even watch that episode of the X-Files. I can't even watch that episode
I know
of
which
the
one
X-Files.
I know which
Fuck
one you're
that
talking
shit.
about.
I know
which
the
one
name of the
you're talking
family.
I know which
I
one you're
can't
talking
even.
about.
It's like got a bird in the name, isn't it? Like the Peacock family.
Peacock family.
Yeah, I
That's
can't even watch that shit. You think I'm gonna watch movies like that? No way. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, this is prime Wes Craven. This is before the world destroyed him emotionally.
No thanks.
But yeah, so it's a classic. It's another sweltering movie.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of heat to that one. Lane, you kind of hit on this already here, but number 2 is Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
Oh, good. It's on your list,
yeah,
too.
I love it.
This movie
just
kicks ass, doesn't it?
It's
so
just
bad.
so
it's so
amazing,
fun.
because I remember a friend of ours said, "Oh, you got to see Sleepaway Camp. You got to see it. It's amazing." And you start to get worried because you're like, "Oh God, what if it doesn't live up to expectations?"
Well, more importantly, what if I don't love it like my friend loves it, right?
And it totally did.
It was our friend James, right? Like
Yeah.
James introduced us to this, right?
Yes, because
Yeah.
he was trying to write a musical based on it.
Oh my God, it would be a great musical. I really believe that.
And then number 1 here, obviously got to go with Jaws.
Yeah, it's your number 1.
I figured that'd be on
I
both
love
yours
that our
list.
lists overlap, honey.
No, I will admit, I never really saw Jaws as a horror movie. I guess it's because it was like a movie I was allowed to watch when I was like a super little kid, and I guess I didn't see the shark as overly scary. But I've heard some people say this is the most terrifying movie I've ever seen. I'm like, huh. I guess Aliens is kind of Jaws in space, and that
Yes.
movie I could see how people see as scary, but
Yeah.
I guess because it's just a shark and sharks do what sharks do. I guess it never bothered me. I don't know.
Well, I think it's just that it's more grounded in the real than most horror movies. That's
of
I
all
think
these
the big
horror
thing
movies,
of all
this
of them.
is the one that could happen to you.
Yeah, there's what's the chances of someone dressing up in a hockey mask and murdering people at a summer camp? Not slim to none.
I mean, it depends on how many Girl Scouts you piss off.
I mean, I know
guess.
that, but I'm just saying, in reality, there's more shark attacks than there are people in hockey masks with a machete chasing people in the woods.
Yeah,
okay,
that's fair.
So
That's
I think
fair.
that's probably why that more people are scared of it, because it is more grounded in the real.
Yeah, I think for me personally too, I think just my response to the music and my response to the tension, I was always very anxious and very tense during this movie, so it's always felt like a horror movie to me too.
I think it has that Spielberg wonderment though that kind of takes the fear out of it from me. Look
What
at
is
this glorious
what
shot.
wonderment like?
Oh, the scene where they're on the boat and they're just going "Ha, we're going to catch the shark," and you're like, it's not
I
going to
don't
end
know.
well.
The shark's like, surprise, cockback.
I don't think my beehole unclenches the entire time I watch this movie. So
Back.
hope y'all enjoy that.
Darren
Pissy
Norris.
shark.
Darren
All right,
Norris.
so
Am I rounding you
Brian.
guys out?
your list.
Okay, so
Tell me
you
everything.
assholes took a lot of my picks already. So I guess I will start with ones that are not on the list you guys have already mentioned. So
No. Tell us the ones that are, and then finish your list with the surprise.
Okay. All right. So, and that's honestly because we're going over an hour on this one. So, First up, I do have Sleepaway Camp on it because
Cool.
obviously
Good.
makes
Perfect.
sense.
That's 3 for 3. That's a
3
natural
for 3.
hat trick.
That is 3 for
Listen,
3.
that movie is the best.
It is. It is. It's so goofy. Like, and I never watched it until I did this show when we had to review it. And like Lauren loves it, my wife loves it too, and she's like, "Oh, you like?" I was asking her, I'm like, "What summer horror movie should I put?" She's like, "Did you put Sleepaway Camp on?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I have that on there. An honorable mention, by the way. I didn't want to put this one on my actual permanent list, but a little indie film from years ago. I don't know if you guys saw it. Bloody Bible Camp.
Ooh, I've
Have you
never
ever
heard
heard
of
of it?
that.
I'm unaware.
Okay, the film stars Reggie Bannister from Phantasm.
Okay.
Okay,
Very nice.
as a priest. It takes place in 1977, and it has a mass murdering nun.
I like
Wow.
it.
And
I like where this is
I
going.
saw this movie years ago at a horror film convention. I think the filmmaker was actually there. It was at Horror Realm actually, and
Oh, wow. That's
I
cool.
saw it at a screening, and I was like, man, this is awesome. And the only reason I don't have it permanently on this is because I wanted to stick it to 5, and honestly, Bloody Bible Camp, I've only seen it once, but it stuck with me because of just how outrageously offensive it was to Christianity. And it really is. And it really is. But
Very
definitely
nice.
check that one out if you're looking for kind of a summer horror movie that is completely off the beaten path. So
Nice. Excellent. I
going
like
down the
it.
line here, I do have Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. For all the reasons John mentioned, you literally can taste the heat and sweat in that film. It's kind of disgusting.
Just when you think underboob sweat's your biggest concern.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Did you say underboob sweat?
Yes.
You need to check your privilege. You've never experienced underboob sweat.
I don't know. I gained a lot of weight. Maybe I have.
Underboob sweat is wretched. I need you to dial it back, Williscroft.
And then I have The Burbs with Tom Hanks. I loved that movie as a kid, and I still love it today. It's
I
so.
need to see that.
And Bruce
I love
Dern.
Carrie Fisher.
Bruce Stern is a crazy military nut job.
Which is the only role that fits Bruce Dern, I feel.
But just like here's the thing. I never really saw suburbia quite like that when I was a kid. But like as an adult, even though I live in the city and like I'm looking at the neighbors, I'm like, oh yeah, I fucking hate that guy or that guy. Oh, there's those goofballs though down the street. So like I'm noticing the things that they're mentioning in this film today, and it's really interesting. I don't know if that just means I'm getting old, but it's funny to relate now more to Tom Hanks's character than back in the day when I just saw it as there's
funny.
crazy murderers next door. Now getting to some that I didn't have that you guys I do have that you guys didn't mention. So I have Cabin Fever on this.
Ooh.
Now Cabin Fever, and I say this here's the thing. This technically is a spring break movie and not a
Okay.
summer movie, but I looked at it kind of Lane. It's this is your episode, so I'm hoping you allow it. But I kind of looked at it as like the setting's close enough. But
it looks warm out,
But
What else
this
do you need?
movie grossed the hell out of me, and it's hard to gross me out. Like the scene where the girlfriend that Ryder Strong is really into, and she's like her whole face just melts off. Yeah, it's really
funny.
really good.
Or the
Which
guy,
the
who goes spelunking downtown and gets a handful of, hearty meal. Just saying, There's a lot of nasty that gets on his hand.
Yeah,
But
yeah. But
That
I'm not, and
that
I'm
scene bothered me.
and I'm talking about the original. I'm not talking about the remake that Eli Roth did. I'm talking about his original film, Cabin Fever.
Oh, weird. Well, because you're talking about Ryder Strong. He was in the Eli Roth one.
Well, the Eli Roth one is the original. There's two Cabin Fevers. There's a remake
Interesting.
that's maybe like a couple years old that Eli Roth did to his own
You're talking
film.
about the 2002 one, right?
Yes, that's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that's what I thought you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the original. I'm talking about that one.
I gotcha.
So yeah, I love Cabin Fever. I think that's a great, summer-ish film.
The
And
problem
then-
for me is I can't get past Eli Roth as a person. I can't stand that man.
Yeah, he kind of bros it up in this film.
Yeah. And it, like the homophobia in this movie is a little intense.
2002.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. What else can you say? 2002.
2002. It was a bad time. So anyway, rounding it out, I have The Lost Boys.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Nice. That's a great
A lot of people
one.
don't realize that actually is a summer film, and it 100% is. They move in to the town in the summertime, and they even Diane Weiss even says like, "Oh yeah, when you guys start school, you're gonna not do this shit. You know, you're not gonna turn into a fucking vampire." But yeah, I love The Lost Boys. It's one of my favorite vampire films. Like if I had to pick, like my top 5 vampire films, I think I actually have. And Lost Boys is in there. Of one of my favorites. I love Kiefer Sutherland as the main vampire in it, and great performances, even by what's his face, Jason Patric.
Brian, I want to make a point of reference here. You've named 2 Corey Feldman movies.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
It's going to be like Gremlins. Like, that takes place at Christmas, Brian.
Amazing.
Yeah. Now, well, he does play a good character in both of them. He plays the quintessential 90s dude in The Burbs, and he plays the quintessential paranoid vampire hunter in The Lost Boys.
As you do. Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the sequel, The Tribe, which I haven't seen. Which that was just
Corey
made
Feldman
for money.
needed to
He
eat,
needed
okay?
money. I get it.
Yeah.
Bless.
I get it. But that's my top picks there.
Good picks. Good
Yeah.
movies, guys. This would be a fun binge or a festival,
Yeah, hopefully we gave you guys a couple of things to gnaw on and check out. If you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp, all 3 of us picked it, so check that out.
You really got to
you-
do it.
you won't be
You've
sad.
got to do it.
Yeah. I'd say watch that. You don't have to necessarily watch the sequel films to it to really enjoy it. I think the first one pretty much hits it on the head. Like
Oh,
I
yeah. I
tried
don't think
watching
the
a couple
sequels are
of
that
sequels,
great.
and they're not that good.
No.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, summer horror. There should be more of it. I don't know why we don't have any more of it, but
I know. Maybe we'll make one, guys. We should.
we should. Okay.
We'll call it Fuck It's Hot Out.
or ouch, my balls are stuck to my leg.
Amazing.
The true horror story.
It's awfully
And boob
sexist,
sweat.
There you
guys.
go, Lane. You said I couldn't talk about under boob sweat. So your balls stick to your leg. in this one.
Literally.
Yeah,
it's-
that's fine.
No, it's a thing. It actually happens.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's like pulling off one of those sticky Velcro strips that you hang posters up with. You got to kind of yank down and, yeah.
It's like a
Well, how
command
do you
strip.
think it feels to get your boob off your chest, buddy?
I mean, I'm imagining it's the same sensation. So enough about ball sweat and titty sweat. John, where can they find you at on Twitter?
Ball sweat and titty sweat.
You can find him at Underboob Sweat at
at gofuckyourself.com. The Unreal J Wolves.
And Lane.
You can find me at LA_Croft.
Oh, I thought you were going to pull it. You find me at titty sweat.
Listen, I'm going to see if that Twitter is taken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just take it. Take it.
You gotta take it. You gotta take it. You can find me at Brian Coddington. I also run the Psycho Show page. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Psycho Show. You can also find us on the Epicast Network at epicastnetwork.com. If you have a favorite movie or question you want to throw our way, or you too, are trying to figure out your summer plans and want to go to Camp Crystal Lake, we'll talk to you about, getting enrolled. You can contact us at cinemapsychoshow.com. And be sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and iTunes, and we will see you next time.
Boy, these stars sure are beautiful tonight.
Not half as beautiful as you.
Oh, you're so... What was that? Come on, baby. Don't you want to do it? No, I seriously heard something.
Mm-hmm.